Hello students, Mr. Dennis, your computer science teacher. Topic today is arrays and looping using basic programming. Now, what are the objectives of the class? The objective of this class is that at the end of the class, students should be able to write simple and complex programs to illustrate looping and arrays. Looping and arrays. Now, what's a looping? Looping is, simply put, the continuous flow or the repetition of a particular statement in a program flow statement. So when there is a repetition in a particular statement, as the program progresses, you are illustrating looping. A is equal to A to B. A is equal to 1 to 10. That's looping. Now there are three basic illustrations that we'll be talking about here, which is the for next loop, the while loop, and the do loop. Now, what is the for next loop? The for next loops is that kind of looping statement that tells you that for a particular number to be this, then you will print that number and you'll be nexting the number. Now it's just like you are having a calculator. When you press 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, when you press equal to, it gives you 4. You press equal to, what's happening there? There's a continuous looping going on, meaning there's a continuous repetition going on in that program flow. Likewise, looping. Here you have x is equal to 1 to 10. So at intervals, x will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Because of the keyword there, next. 4, you've declared next is the illustration. Another illustration is talking about the while loop functions. Now for the while loop functions, they are telling you while a program is this, you should do this. Why? So long Mr. Dennis is your teacher, you must listen to him. But when he is not your teacher, it means that you should not listen because he will not be talking in the first place. That is the while loop function illustration. So while a statement is true, you would execute that statement. But at the point when the statement is now false, the program ends or the problem ends. That is the illustration for a while loop statement. So anyhow you want to put it, so long the program is true, execute the statement. When the program is false, you stop. Is what we call the do loop. The do loop statement is just simply do this, do that, do this, n is equal to this, do print hello as an illustration. Mr. Dennis is your computer science teacher. Do Mr. Dennis. That is an illustration, and they are basically 4 syntaxes. When I'm talking about syntaxes, you know what I'm talking about. I've said it severally. A syntax, they are what? They are rules. They are rules. Now, all this illustrates looping. Learn the syntax, memorize the syntax, and know the syntax. Now, when you move away, we'll be having series of examples that illustrate this series of programs that illustrate the do loop. Now, what are those series of programs? You'll see it in the next slide. For example, program to print the natural numbers from 1 to 10. Natural numbers, it means that we have to print numbers from 1 to 10, simply put. Now, when you say n is equal to 1, now when they say n is equal to 1, you should do. What are you doing? You are printing n. Also, n is equal to n plus 1. What are they telling you? You would loop while n is less or equal to 10. It means the program will end. Now the statement simply is n is equal to 1 so that you understand it properly. They are not telling you should do, meaning what are you doing? You should print n. Now there's a statement that is not telling you to perform the series, which is 10 plus 1 plus 1 to 10. So how would you actually achieve 1 to 10? Just like they did it in the for next loop. You have n is equal to n plus 1. Now the statement now says while n is less or equal to 10, then you end. What this simply means is the range would not exceed 10. It is either 10 or less than 10. And you've achieved your looping using the do loop function. The other example still explains the same thing. The do loop function is quite easy and even sweeter. But next we'll be talking about arrays. Arrays is just like you have series of numbers, but the numbers are too many and you decided that these numbers should be placed somewhere. So you have numbers ranging from 1 to 20 and you want to put them in an array, meaning you want to put them in a location. A simple program to illustrate that is you have a syntax that illustrates array is DIM, which means dimensions. Now the program says that the dimension is num5, meaning the number ranges from the dimension, which is each of the rows is from 0 to 5. And the program has illustrated that each of these rows has values, of which the very first one, which is num0, is 2, num1 4, num2, and then the output of the program for that illustration is what you have there. With this, you have successfully done it. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day ahead. Thank you.